Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Today I'm going to share with you these postcard gift boxes that I made using a lot of the newest release from La La Land Crafts. And I'm going to do a quick walkthrough of all 5 of the different boxes that I created. And then at the end of this walkthrough, I will show you how to make the box and how to decorate the Santa one. So I'm going to start here with the Happy Trails set. And as you can see, I've used a lot of the camping, the trailers, and the marshmallows on the sticks and the campfires, and just kind of tried to create a really cute camping scene. And then on the back side of this is the postcard part, which came from the Christmas postcards rubber stamp set. So it's just some close-ups of this. If you head over to my blog, which I'll have linked below, there'll be close-ups of all of these. So if you would like to recreate these, it'll be a lot easier if you go to the blog and just maybe snapshot or reference the blog pictures to recreate these. So that is the Happy Trails set. Next, we're going to look at the Snow Amazing. So here's all the Christmas ones. I did 2 Snow Amazings because I just love this set so much. And one of them is kind of like got a lot of blues and whites and silvers, and then the other one is more colorized. So here's the blues and the whites. And you can see here I used, when I did the trailer in the back, I used the silver cardstock, and then I used the blue Christmas paper for this. And for each one of these sets, you'll see that there's a skating. One of the characters is skating, so on each one of these sets, I made sure to put all 3 of them skating together. And I kind of made the same scene for the skating one, just using different colors. So in the more colorized version, I used a lot more greens and reds and blues and did a lot more of that. Used, I think I used, I want to say, not just the Christmas paper. I'll link it on the blog. So here's a Caroling McGo, and look at these guys. These guys are just so adorable. So I created another indoor scene for the box top, and then on the inside I've got various night scenes of them caroling around the lamp. Here's another one with them skating, and then I've got the one with the Christmas bells are ringing with the door and the window and the trees. And so that's that one, and then on the other side of that is also the postcard. And then this is the one we're going to make together as soon as I'm done showing it to you. So on the front here, I did the build a house die, and then I just created this like really cute box top. And then on the inside, I've got all these different scenes with the Santa, including the skating scene, and then this one where he's kind of sneaking out the front door, leaving the presents behind. And that is the one that we are going to make if you stick around. I will show you how to put the box together and the top and the whole thing. So we're going to start here with a 5.5 by 7 inch piece, and then we have a 4.5 by 6. So the 5 by 7 is the box bottom, and the other one is the top. So for this one, what we're going to do is score at 1 inch all the way around. And for the box top, you can either mimic the bottom if you want your top of your box to go all the way to the bottom, but I wanted to see the box underneath, so I'm only going 1/2 inch all the way around. And then I'm just going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut the flaps, and I'll show you where to cut. And it doesn't much matter whether you cut on the long ends or on the short ends, as long as you just do them opposite of each other, just like this. I'm going to do the same thing for the top. And it's just so that your flaps will hold together your box top and your bottom. Now we're going to use our bone folder, and reinforce all of our lines here. And then one of the things that I like to do whenever I'm creating pockets or boxes or anything where you have tabs that go together is I like to just kind of neaten them up by taking like a wedge off of each one. And you'll see me do this with all my pockets as well when I'm creating stuff like that. And mainly it just makes it cleaner when you put your edges together, and just in case your cutting wasn't exactly even or your scoring is a little bit off, it keeps those flaps from sticking over. I don't know how really to explain it, except for it just makes it look neater. How's that? But definitely not something you don't have to do it if you don't want to. It's just my thing. So once we get through this, I'm going to place the tape. Now your tape needs to go on each one of the inside parts of the flaps, and that's so that you can create your box. So I'm going to put one piece on each, and I'm just using some strong double-sided score tape. And then I always like to burnish it down just to make sure it stays. And then we take off I'm actually leaving all of this in this time so you guys can see from beginning to end how to create the boxes. I'm going to give you one little tip about these boxes though. So I learned after I made this one that it's better to shave off about a teeny tiny little smidgen. if that's it, not even an eighth. You just want a smidgen off of the box bottom from the 5.5 inch side and from the 7 inch side, just on two edges, if that makes any sense. And the only reason why you want to do that is because you'll see when I put the top on that it's kind of a tight fit. So you want the bottom of your box to be just slightly smaller than your cover. That way it fits together a little bit better. And I did that for all of my other boxes when I made the other boxes to put these together so that the tops go on and off really easily. Because you'll see here when I go to put the box top on, it's kind of a tight fit. It goes on, but it's kind of a tight fit, see right there. So if you want it to be a little bit looser and easier to get on and off, you want to just take that smidgen off of one of the short sides and one of the long sides. So here we're going to create the postcard, and I'm using the Christmas postcard rubber stamp set, and I'm going to use some Nina Desert Storm paper, and this is what they're going to look like when we're done. So basically I'm going to use my intense black ink to create the postcard part, and then the archival barn door red to create the little postage marks depending on which one, and I change it up for each one of the sets, has a different postage mark except for the Happy Trail set because that wasn't a Christmas set, so I didn't use any of these postage marks for that. Now I'm just trying to figure out, make sure you have it facing in the right direction and then figure out where it's going to fit best, and then just ink it up. And I did ink it up a couple of times because I wanted a nice bright red crisp postage mark on this side. And this is basically where you would write your little note if you were going to send this to somebody. Then you just trim down each one of your cards to just slightly over the, it comes to about, I think it's 3.5 by 5 is about the size that it ends up. And now we're going to start putting together a box top. So I've already cut out all of my pieces, and for this one I'm using the Build a House die. I'm also using the Stitched Clouds die to create my snow hills. The chimney there, chimney die to make that, which we're going to stick on behind our little house here. And then I didn't want the house to be all one color, so I did create a roof out of the brown, and then I've got the white snow to go right on top of that. And then I also wanted to have like a dark lineation between the roof and the house, so I just cut a strip of scrap paper. I'm going to place my windows. And you're probably going to hear some noise in the background because the heater is about to come on, and my craft room right now is in the utility room because my daughter took over my craft room. I'm going to place on my little stitch trees here. And then there's my sentiment. And I'm going to pop up my Santa on the front. And then I thought this doesn't look Christmassy enough, so I'm going to bring in some of the Christmas greenery from the staircase die. We're going to put all that together. And then I also cut some bows from that same paper that I used for the flowers that goes on the greenery. And I'm just going to place some bows on there. And now it looks a lot more festive than before I added all the greenery. And that is going to just be attached directly to the box top. So that way, when they've given away all their postcards, they still have a really cute box to put other things in, whatever kinds of things that they want to put in there. Makes a nice decoration for like a mantle or a table or something. Super cute. So there is your box top. And now we will work on the next one. So our next one is going to be our Santa kind of sneaking out the front door after he leaves his presents. And so I've already attached my wallpaper, and then I've got my panel that goes on the bottom that just kind of breaks up that wallpaper. I do this in every single room scene that I do. Now I've got my staircase die, which I cut out twice, once from brown and then once from the pink. And this is from the Christmas Hodgepodge collection. I'm going to place my staircase down. And then I'm going to put my window. So this is I think it's called the antique window. I know where I want my Santa to go, so I'll place all my greenery coming down the stairs. I decided I should probably pop these up. So most of the times I try not to do a ton of dimension on these postcards because they are, they are meant to be mailed out, and the more dimensional you make them, the more expensive they are to mail, and they're already kind of an odd size because they're smaller than a normal A2 size card base. So they're already probably going to cost more. So maybe these are things that you want to hand deliver, I guess, if you don't want to pay the extra postage for it. But either way, I think they're super cute. So I tried not to get too crazy with the dimensionals. So I'm using the half doily because I just wanted to break up that pink wall and put something behind it that wasn't bright pink, and then place my trees. I cut out a couple of the presents from the packet, from the paper, and I added some bows to that. And it's those bigger bows that come on the wreath die is where I got those from. So that will be our first postcard, and I made little envelopes that kind of match. And then just start stacking them inside your box. Now I'm going to create our skating scene. So again, with the stitched cloud die, and then I've got the village border die, and then I just cut out some blue to kind of look like water, I guess. And I'm going to place that down, trim off all of my excess on the edges. Then I'm just going to place down my trees. I made this one so many times it became very, very fast. This one was a very quick one for me. My trees are from the Christmas Hodgepodge. And then I just have to figure out where everybody's going to go. So the two in the back are taped directly to the card base, and then Santa gets popped up in the middle. And then I also pop up my sentiment, Merry and Bright, up at the top. And that will complete our second postcard. And then he goes in the box. Now we're going to do our Santa hanging out in front of the fireplace chilling after a busy day, or busy night I should say. So for this one I created my fireplace the same way I have for all of my other ones. I used the chimney die to create the background because it's gives me that same brick pattern as what I have on my fireplace. I popped up my fireplace with some fun foam, and now I'm just using all of the pieces that come with your fireplace die. So there's the one on the bottom, the mantle on the top, which I'm also going to pop up with a little bit of fun foam just so that it doesn't squish back. I don't want it to come off. And now I'm just going to start decorating. I realized afterwards that I forgot to put down my fireplace rug that I was going to put right in front of it, so I will have to recut that bottom piece, that bottom brown piece, but I will just place on my little fireplace rug and then just cut a whole nother one and stick it right over the top. Not a big deal. Now I'm going to start decorating my fireplace, and I use the doily, I can remember what it's called off the top of my head. I want to say it's a doily border, but like I said, I will have them all linked. And then I'm putting the double bows with white glitter and the pink, matching stockings. Put some trees behind Santa and place my campfire into the fireplace. Then I felt like the one side was a little heavy with the trees and Santa, so I wanted something on the other side, so I decided to just place that little sleigh, kind of like a decoration in front of the fireplace. And now I'm going to pop up actually I'm just going to put it flat, my sentiment, and that will complete our third postcard. These are just so adorable. So, like I said, on my blog, I will have everything listed that I used for each one of these. I've also got a ton of pictures there, so I will put most of the pictures on the bottom so that you don't have to look through it all just to get to the product. All of the links for everything else will be on the top along with this video link, and I will have all of that in the description below this video. I want to thank you guys so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful holiday, and we will see you again back at the beginning of next year. Have a great Christmas, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.